I think it's really important with IT to give students a bit of a running start, try not to hold them back and coach them through every method and every technique, but to let them have the foundations and go from there and learn themselves. I think that's really important because a lot of students know the basics, and then you can make sure that you fill in the blanks and go from there. Dealing with a gap in digital skills is actually relatively helpful in some respects because I use the student knowledge of those that are more advanced in certain areas. I allow them to share their knowledge with other students, and that means we can all learn from each other because actually if they're weaker in a certain area, they're probably stronger in another area. So we work together as a team, we share our knowledge, and then I fill in where they're not sure of a certain topic or certain area. We teach the bare bones techniques and the foundation skills, and then we set them off on creating a website or an application or a game or a virtual machine or whatever it may be. And by doing that, they're developing their skills further in a natural environment. I think it's really important to make use of the resources that you have to your disposal. Things like Padlet, Direct Poll, Kahoot, there's hundreds of free or very cheap resources out there that really spice up your lesson and make it interesting to the students and actually assess them without them really knowing they're being assessed. I think one of the hardest things is probably programming. Although it's improving now in primary schools and secondary schools to a certain extent, some of our students have never come across some programming languages, and we have to start with the real bare bones. So one of the tools that we use as a college, and I use as a lecturer at the college, is Codecademy, SoloLearn and other online tools that we encourage students to use in their own time. These are free resources that the students love to do, and they can complete them from home, on their phones, or even at the college itself. Some key advice about teaching IT is to move it on from a secondary level where there can be a focus on office software and basically admin tasks. At the FE level, it's far more creative, far more advanced, and that means you have to be at the top of your game. You have to use the software at home. You have to spend hours putting in your own time to ensure you're up to skill with what you need to be doing. It's really moved on from the Office suite, and it's now focused on animation, web design, game development, app design, human-computer interaction, interface design, all sorts of things. And if you're not putting your own time and developing your own skills, you cannot teach these to a high enough level. One of the key misconceptions is that students will mess around all the time. And actually, if you give them an interesting lesson on a subject they're interested in, a topic that they're learning about that is relevant, then they won't. Students really do concentrate quite well if you're giving them an enjoyable and informative lesson that they can leave the room having learnt at least something new, if not developed a skill further.